Hey there. Today I want to talk again about grieving secondary betrayal and re entering life. In the last conversation, we named something most people never talk about: the secondary betrayals. Betrayals of the friends who have dropped away, the people who are no longer in your corner, who don't reach out, the quiet losses, the relational fallout that doesn't come with villains or with closure. So today I want to go just a little bit deeper because even when your mind understands what happened, your body may still be living inside of it. And healing doesn't happen at the level of insight alone. If you've ever walked into a room and felt your chest tighten, if your stomach drops when you see certain faces, if you feel yourself brace without consciously deciding to, and your heart drops again, tightens in your chest again at the sight or the sound of a voice or a face. That's not weakness or brokenness. That's your nervous system doing its job. Your body learned something important during the season. Your body learned something important in your relationship with those people and those faces. That connection was not safe in the way that it once was. So now, even years later, your body stays alert. It's not dramatic, it's not panicked. You can probably hold it together really well with a really good poker face. You're just guarded. And here's the part most people miss. You can be emotionally mature and still be dysregulated. You can understand the story and still carry it in your tissues. That's the learned trauma responses. When grief doesn't get felt, it doesn't disappear. It turns into tension or fatigue or hypervigilance or hyperindependence, a subtle pulling back from life. So many people try to think their way through grief, but grief isn't a problem to solve. It's a process to move through, and the body needs help to do that. The first step is allowing yourself to name what was actually lost. Not what should have been okay, not what you're overreacting about, but the real losses. Some examples might be: I lost a sense of safety. I lost shared history. I lost community. I lost people I thought would walk with me. I lost the future I imagined. I lost the traditions of holidays or game nights or church events. So name it plainly. Your nervous system relaxes when reality is acknowledged. Step 2, letting the body complete the stress cycle. When something painful happens and there's no resolution, the body stays braced. So one of the most healing things you can do is allow your body to complete the stress cycle that it started. Here are a few simple practical ways to do that. Start with orienting. Slowly look around a room. Look around the room you're in right now. Name 5 things you can see. Name 4 things you can feel. 3 things you can hear. This tells your nervous system, I'm here. I'm in the here and now, and I'm safe. Second is movement. Grief is stored as energy. So walking, gentle stretching, shaking out your arms, even slow dancing in your kitchen helps the body release what words cannot. And then the third is sound, sighing, humming, soft vocalization, talking to yourself in the mirror. These stimulate the vagus nerve and invite regulation. None of this is dramatic. It doesn't have to be a big production or a big show, but it is biological. It's telling your body how to walk through the rest of the stress process. Step 3 is creating containers for the grief. because grief needs boundaries. If you don't give it a place to land, it will leak everywhere. So try this. Set aside intentional time to grieve and put a timer on it, because it's okay to sit there for a little bit, but you don't want to park there. And it might look like, light a candle, write down what hurts, say out loud what you never got to say, and definitely cry if your body needs to. Give it the time that it needs, and then close the container. Blow out the candle. Take a breath. Return to the present. This teaches your nervous system that grief is allowed, but it does not get to run the house. Step 4, letting go without erasing meaning. Letting go does not mean pretending it didn't matter. Let me say that again. Letting go of the grief does not mean pretending it didn't matter or it wasn't meaningful. It means releasing your expectations that the past will give you what it never did. You can honor the loss and stop waiting for repair that isn't coming. That's not resignation. It's self-respect. It honors that life wasn't what it was meant to be. It finds its stride between what it should have been, but also honors that it is what it is. Step 5, stepping into life as it is. Here's where resilience and creativity come in. At some point, you stop asking, why didn't this turn out the way it was supposed to? And you start asking, what kind of life am I being invited to build now? Life after betrayal often requires reimagining new rhythms, reimagining new people, reimagining new sources of joy. Not because the old ones were meaningless, but because you are still alive and have life to live. Authenticity here doesn't mean oversharing. It means living in alignment with who you are now, with the people that you're with now. Choosing spaces that feel spacious. Choosing people who feel regulated. Choosing experiences that bring you back into your body. Healing doesn't look like forgetting. It looks like remembering without bracing. It looks like walking into rooms without your shoulders and your ears, like laughing again without guilt, like letting beauty in without scanning for threat. This is what integration feels like. Not erasure, but embodiment. Your body has carried a lot. It learned how to survive something that changed you, and now it gets to learn something new. That you are here in this moment. That you are safe enough to live. That life is still available to you to choose. And step by step, breath by breath, you get to inhabit it again. If you're carrying grief, betrayal, or unresolved relational trauma in your body, and you're ready for support that goes beyond just insight and into integration, we'd be honored to walk it out with you. At livefound.org, we work with people navigating the nervous system impact of loss and betrayal, helping them move from survival into grounded, authentic living. You can learn more or schedule a session at livefound.org. You don't have to rush this, and you don't have to do it alone.